Lost 3-1. I missed Oxford's goal. What a great way to start a Saturday afternoon. Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It's time for another review of another Oxford United game. After not playing last weekend, the U's are back in action. They are away at Gillingham. So without wasting time or talking about Oxford having to change in the concourse, because I don't really care, let's just jump into team news. Exciting changes for Oxford United as Josh Ruffles comes back after getting injured on the first game of the season. Sam Long had to move to centre-back though because Rob Atkinson is injured. He injured his groin. And that just, look at that straight away, that creates like a glaring problem. I know Long started as a centre-back before becoming a right-back and seemingly can play anywhere for Oxford United. But this does look like a potential weakness in this lineup. Good news as well, Brannigan comes back in, but he came back in for Robbie Hall, who's always the first player to be hijacked out of a starting lineup, which annoys me. Good to see Adji getting staying in there. I thought he was good against Accrington Stanley, so definitely deserved another game. And Sam Winnall is on the bench. The long-awaited debut of Sam Wibble could be on today. Gillingham lost their opening day of the season, but since then they've had 2 wins and a draw. They make one change from the side that got a last-minute equaliser against Shrewsbury. Drysdale is in for O'Connor. And also when you look at their starting lineup, the name that jumps out straight away is Jordan Graham. Ex-Oxford United's Jordan Graham. He's been in fine form, including scoring that last-minute goal last weekend. And also Alex McDonald on the bench for the Gills. Obviously ex-Oxford United won promotion with us back in whenever it was. I seem to say this every time like a broken record, but you feel this game's going to be tough. You know Gillingham are a good side, organised side under Steve Evans. Love him or hate him, he is doing a good job with this Gillingham side. I expect this one to be tough, but I'm confident that Oxford can get a win. But unfortunately, that confidence is once again misplaced, as it's another defeat for Oxford United this season. Played 4, lost 3. Whew, what a bad start to the season we are having. It was an interesting game, and I actually thought Oxford played really well, but they did not get the result, I'm afraid. This one finished Gillingham 3, Oxford United 1. So you expected this game to be tight and to be a battle, and it was. Oxford are looking to play their football. Gillingham playing very direct, no matter where they had throw-ins on the pitch. It was a bombed throwing forward. It was bombed free kicks going forward, bombed corners. Anytime they could get the ball into Oxford box, they would try it. But Oxford dealt with it well. We'll get to it. To start with, and I actually thought they created some good chances. There's so many times they got in good areas, got into space in the first half, looked like they could get into good shooting positions, and for one reason or another, they just failed to pull the trigger, or a Gillingham player got a block. Get ready to hear that a lot this afternoon. But it was encouraging signs for Oxford. One thing when I was watching it though, I was feeling quite annoyed at the chances we were missing or not shooting, because I just felt Gillingham are going to get chances in this game as well. And while Gillingham were proving a difficult nut to crack by putting their bodies on the line, Oxford were doing their usual thing that they've done this season and just waving the goals through. Come on guys, get your shots in. We don't mind conceding, or so it seems to be. Defenders that don't want to pick up players, letting players shoot, and in an instance of the first goal, allowing crosses to come all the way across the box, and a goalkeeper in Simon Eastwood who doesn't seem to want to keep the ball out of the net. All those signs point towards a bad defence, and that was evident all the way through this game. The first goal came where Gillingham played a ball all the way across. It came to Jordan Graham. He put in a good cross in for Oliver, unmarked at the back post. Yay. And his header was decent, but I do think Eastwood should have saved it. It seemed to have hit the post and gone in. I'm not sure whether he got off guard, if he was wrong-footed by it, but I definitely think Eastwood should have saved it. And after all Oxford's good play, we're 1-0 down. And unfortunately, 1-0 became 2-0 only about 4 minutes later. Gillingham's second goal again came from Oxford just being sloppy at the back. Mellis just sort of ran at Oxford, and players just stand off him, like Clare and like Long and Moore, and they just let him get into a shooting position. His shot gets deflected back to him, and it is a very, very good finish from Mellis. I'm not going to take that away from him, but Oxford's defending is just so sloppy in that area. Eastwood had no chance with the finish, and all of a sudden we're 2-0 down. Game was really weird because I actually enjoyed Oxford's performance from an attacking point of view in this game. I actually thought going forward at times was a joy to watch. It was frustrating that we missed chance after chance after chance, but creatively, that's easily the best we've played all season. There were so many times we created space and got into good areas. I don't know why players seem to refuse to shoot in the first half. There was an instance where Taylor easily could have got a shot away, and Adji always seems to want to turn back before shooting. Very, very frustrating. You felt if we could have got one back in the first half, it was definitely game on. Those chances did come as the first half drew to an end. Most notably, Cameron Brannigan, who should have finished off a fine move, which ended up with Ford pulling across to the back post where Cameron Brannigan arrived. It was a tap-in, and he somehow managed to scuff it wide. He'll have that shot. If he had it 100 times, he'd probably score it 99 times out of 100. It was that easy. This was the kind of day it was for Oxford. And then Taylor made the goalie produce his first save. Other than that, all Oxford shots were blocked brilliantly by Gillingham defenders, but the goalie made a good save on that one. And then Ruffles had a effort cleared off the line, where it was one of those ones where the ball's just bouncing slowly and the defender gets back, nods it. There's about 3 Oxford players around him, and the ball just always seemed to evade that on-rushing Oxford player in those circumstances. Oxford looked good going forward, terrible at the back, 2-0 down at half-time. If we can get one back just after the break, we're still in it. Let's start the second half by giving a big round of applause to iFollow. Thank you very much for having technical problems, which mean that everybody could not watch the start of the second half. So we missed Oxford's goal. From what I heard of it from Radio Oxford, it sounded like a Taylor header, which fell to Adji, and he sort of scrambled the ball over the line. So I haven't seen it. Very frustrating that went down, but happy that Oxford got that goal back early in the second half. Let's see if we can kick on now and get it back to 2-2. Whereas in the first half, the game was largely Oxford on the front foot, and if you look at possession stats and everything like that, we dominated this game in terms of all the stats apart from goals. It was much more even at times in the second half. There were spells where Gillingham were on top. Eastwood certainly redeemed himself. He was at fault for the first goal. He made some great saves in this second half, including one which was deflected from Eccles from the edge of the box. We got a brilliant hand up to turn it away. Then Taylor missed a free header from a free kick. He was about 8 yards out and just headed it down and went over the bar. Definitely a chance you'd expect him to score. And it's just this game was in the balance, so it could have gone either way at this point, but you still felt Oxford could have got back into it. But one thing you can never legislate for is bad defending, and this season Oxford seemed to have that in spades. Again, when every time Gillingham did go forward, they caused problems, and it was again a cross that was allowed to come in. Jordan Graham, unmarked. Of course he was unmarked. Why mark? What's the point of marking? But he did produce a great finish, which again, Eastwood had no chance for. Amazing goal scoring form he's on. Goal scoring form of his life for Jordan Graham, the likes of which we never saw when he was in an Oxford shirt. So at 3-1 down, again it felt like a mountain to climb. Again you're just like hoping, can we just get one back? They tried, and I think they looked really good going forward again. Time after time we got in behind Gillingham and created chances. Just couldn't take them, and the amount of times the ball would go across the box or it would bounce awkwardly for a player, or what would usually happen is Gillingham defenders putting their body on the line and actually doing well with the art of defending and stopping those shots from coming in. And Winnell did come on, and he didn't do much. He had one header. He didn't have much chance to do much, but it's good that he's come on, good that he gets minutes. We're going to need him in this season. Eastwood made a good save at the end also to keep the scoreline down even further, but this one did end with a 3-1 defeat and a head-scratching performance where parts were good at one end and then there's parts that are just really annoying and frustrating. So let's talk about Gillingham. Let's just say well done to Gillingham. Good victory for them. Certainly showed Oxford how to defend and how to be clinical when they had the possession and they had the chances. There was probably only about 10-20 minutes in the game where Gillingham were on top of Oxford, but boy, were they effective in those 20 minutes. And defensively, yeah, they were superb. You can talk about their tactics and their gamesmanship, and you can talk about the off-the-field stuff. I don't really care about all that stuff. When it came down to it, they put their bodies on the line, they defended well, they fought for every tackle, every header, and they took their chances when they came along. So you cannot begrudge them for doing that. From an Oxford point of view, you are scratching your head, as I just said before. Going forward is easily the best we've looked this season. There was times where we created some great chances, and that is so encouraging. You don't want that to be a common theme like it was a couple of seasons ago, where we seemed to just work so hard to get goals and then just gift them away for fun at the back. They need to start taking these chances. We have got the strikers that are going to put these chances away, and if Oxford are looking like more of a force going forward, and obviously hopefully with some new players coming in, there's definitely encouraging signs. I still wouldn't think we're going to be dragged into a relegation scrap. It's only early throes of the season. But we need to sort this defence out. It is worrying how threadbare we look at the back. It's worrying after only just a couple of injuries we look like we're throwing square pegs in round holes, and we're talking about possibilities of another injury coming and maybe players like Jamie Hansen having to come in and play centre-back. I mean, wow, it's amazing how quickly things can turn in football, from looking like you've got a pretty strong squad to then looking pretty threadbare in areas. And basically, as a team, Oxford are not defending well. From every single set piece that comes in, they look vulnerable. And it looks like the sort of thing where we are going to have to score goals in this season, because defensively we cannot rely on it at the moment. So very annoying and very frustrating. That'll just about do it for this review. We've got so many games coming up thick and fast over the next few weeks. It's good that Oxford have got a chance on Tuesday night against Crewe in this rearranged game to put this defeat behind them, and I actually do expect that they will. But that will just about do it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us out so much on YouTube. You have no idea how much that thumbs up can really help. And also, if you like the video and you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing and hit the notify bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. The channel's been a bit quiet for the last couple of weeks, with us not doing some videos a couple of weeks ago and only having League One to focus on this week, but we'll be back with the regular content and more coming up in the following weeks. Hopefully we can get a win on Tuesday, and I'll see you there.